Exposing the dark truth about Matthew Perry.
I learned how close I came to death.
As of today, you may all know that our friend Sarcasm King, Mr. Chandler Bing, aka Matthew Perry, has tragically died. The news dropped like a meteor when no one was expecting it. Matty's life was almost opposite to what he always showed on screen. But did you know that he struggled with things that would ultimately lead to his demise? In today's video, we will talk about Matthew Perry's fame and his struggles and unravel some dark truths that will leave his fans shocked. So, without further ado, let's get straight into this. It was the addiction memoir that revealed everything. When Matthew Perry released Friends, Lovers, and The Big Terrible Thing last year, it detailed his 27-year battle with alcohol and drugs in minute detail, how he ended up on life support with a 2% chance of survival after opioid abuse burst his colon, necessitating 5 months in the hospital and 9 months with a colostomy bag. That, on another occasion, combining those opioids with a sedative, stopped his heart from beating for a full 5 minutes. There was also the 14 stomach operations, the erectile dysfunction, and the day when, after biting into a slice of toast, all of his top teeth fell out, which Perry carried them to his dentist in his jeans pocket. By the age of 49, he has spent more than half of his life and $9.5 million in treatment facilities. That big terrible thing was actually several entities, resulting in him drinking 14 triple shots of vodka or taking 55 prescription painkillers per day. Perry's youthful bounce as Chandler Bing, the sarcastic friend stalwart who would become an international star, soon began to shift in ways that could have not been caused by age alone. When I'm gaining weight, it's alcohol. When I'm losing weight, it's pills. It's a lot of pills when I have a goatee, he explained in his book of changing appearance on the show. It was so striking that his co-star, Lisa Kudrow, wrote in the Memoirs foreword that the most frequently asked question about Friends was, "How's Matthew Perry doing?" When it was released last November, the answer appeared to be satisfactory. Perry was 18 months sober, and for the first time, ready to admit the extremes his addictions have taken him to. He was terrified by his latest brush with death and the prospect of needing a permanent colostomy bag. "I feel better because it's out," he explained. "It's on a piece of paper," one which he had written every word himself, which was unusual for celebrity memoirs. "I wanted to share when I was safe from going into the dark side again," he explained in another interview. "I had to wait until I was pretty safely sober and away from the active disease of alcoholism and addiction in order to disclose my condition." Friends, Lovers, and The Big Terrible Thing was described as a scream of authentic pain by one reviewer. Writing the book had made Perry stronger in every way, despite its heaviness. However, the seemingly stable world he had been navigating would provide the backdrop to his death on Saturday, age 54, when he was discovered drowned in his jacuzzi from a suspected cardiac arrest. Perry had reportedly spent 2 hours that morning playing pickleball, a sport he had grown so fond of that he built a court at his Los Angeles home before his assistant returned to find him unresponsive. There were no illegal drugs discovered, though a police mole reported discovering prescription drugs for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and antidepressants at his home, and no foul play is suspected. His final Instagram post, 6 days before his death, of himself in water with headphones on under the dark of the night sky, has taken on a haunting air. Perry, then 24, was cast in Friends in 1994 as the wry foil to his co-stars' more cookie-cutter characters. The show would change their lives, with each of its 10 series attracting tens of millions of viewers. 52 million people tuned in for the 2004 finale. The show's success by that point so fundamental to the zeitgeist that its cast earned $1 million per episode. Bing is still voted viewers' favorite character nearly 2 decades after the show ended. Behind the scenes, Perry was struggling as the show's popularity soared. Following a jet ski accident on the set of Fools Rush In with Salma Hayek in 1997, he was prescribed painkillers. Within 18 months, he was taking 55 Vicodin per day, a cocktail so potent that he later admitted he couldn't remember shooting 3 seasons of Friends. The more he took, the more he needed to take to replicate the buzz, even going so far as to attend open house viewings on Sundays and raiding owners' medicine cabinets to stay topped up. "It's exhausting, but you have to do it or you'll get very, very sick," he said of the withdrawal symptoms. "I wasn't doing it to get high or feel better. I wasn't a party animal. All I wanted to do was to sit on my couch, take 5 Vicodin, and watch a movie. That was heaven on earth for me." Things were becoming more difficult to conceal on set. While Perry claimed he was never high while filming, the effects of what he was doing the rest of the time became apparent. He fell asleep during one scene, only to be nudged awake by co-star Matt LeBlanc as he was about to say his line, and his on-screen wedding to Monica, Courtney Cox, in 2001 ended with him being driven back to a treatment center. "At the height of my highest point in Friends, the highest point in my career, the iconic moment on the iconic show, I was in a pickup truck helmed by a sober technician." Jennifer Aniston once came to his trailer and told him that his co-stars could smell the excessive alcohol he was consuming. On another occasion, the cast confronted him in his dressing room. All had remained close in the 19 years since the film's release, with Kudrow describing Perry's battle with a hideous disease, and he had a tough version of it last year. The tragedy of his death after battling for so long to get clean emphasizes the toll that alcohol and drug abuse can take on the body, even when abstinent. Excessive consumption is associated with liver disease, such as hepatitis or cirrhosis, kidney damage, collapsed veins and bacterial infections, bowel disease, emphysema, and an increased risk of aneurysms and stroke. Drinking affects pretty much every organ in the body, but particularly the liver, heart, and immune system, says David Nutt, professor of neuropsychopharmacology at Imperial College London and author of Drugs Without the Hot Air. If you damage yourself from excess drug use, you'll almost certainly reduce your life expectancy, which is why it's better to not do that in the first place. According to research published last year, 22.35 million adults in the United States, equivalent to 9.1%, were in recovery. But there have been few studies on how organs readjust once toxic substance consumption ceases, with the prevailing theory being that some, but not all damage can be reversed. Researchers from Oregon Health and Science University discovered in 2018 that even minor cocaine exposure could fundamentally alter neuronal circuits in the brain, while a 2021 paper published in the journal Alcohol Research Current Reviews discovered that damaged organs may regain partial function or even heal completely depending on the extent of organ damage and whether there is a relapse. Its authors also noted that alcohol-induced dilated cardiomyopathy, in which a portion of the heart muscle becomes stretched and unable to pump blood as it should, was common in heavy drinkers and was accompanied by a high incidence of cardiac morbidity and mortality. While stopping substance abuse will inevitably improve any condition it has caused, the likelihood is you'll probably get a bit better, but I don't think you'll fully recover, Nutt says. A toxicology report concluded that the same condition afflicted George Michael, a heavy drinker and drug user who died in 2016 at the age of 53. Perry was well aware that reducing his alcohol and drug use was not the end of the road, with recovery being a day-to-day process of getting better for all addicts. He was deeply committed to assisting others in his grip, believing that if a selfish, lazy F like myself can change, then anyone can, and even set up a sober rehab facility, the Perry House, at his former Malibu home. He began to find meaning in speaking out about what he had gone through after dedicating his book to all the sufferers out there. Sometimes I think I went through the addiction, alcoholism, and fame all to be doing what I'm doing right now, which is helping people. Matt's life was a tragedy, and we bid him farewell, because at the end of the day, we all know that wherever he is right now, he is making everyone laugh. If you found this video interesting, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as well as click on one of these videos for more informative content. Thank you.